Today, I would like to share with you this book called Terrible Typhoid Mary. This is a nonfiction book about a notorious cook, and it's by Susan Campbell Bartoletti. Now, this book we have in the library when you get to come here. We also have it in e-book format, so you can read this online. And there are some pictures in it, like I love this one where she's throwing little skulls into the pan. It also shows where the story begins, which is at a summer home where this guy is living with his 4 kids and 5 servants. And then you can see another picture of Mary at the bottom cooking. Now, instead of reading you the first chapter, nonfiction's a little bit different, but I do want to read you the book jacket cover inside. And it says, "This is the story of a cook, a quiet, diligent cook who kept to herself. Her specialty was homemade ice cream topped with fresh peaches, which she served on hot summer days. She worked for some of the wealthiest families in New York who spoke highly of her skills. But when 6 members of one household nearly died, the cook mysteriously disappeared, and the hunt for Typhoid Mary began." Now, in this biography, we're going to look at a lot of different things and find out who Mary Mallon really was. This private domestic cook became one of the most notorious women in history, and her name, reputation were damaged, and who's responsible? So the other thing I want to read from this book, Terrible Typhoid Mary, A True Story of the Deadliest Cook in America, is the author's note. And it says this: "Dear reader, if you're squeamish and don't like to read about germs, then you should stop now and find some other book to read. If you don't scrub your hands with soap and hot water for at least 30 seconds after using the toilet and before eating, if you don't clean underneath your fingernails, if you don't sneeze or cough into a tissue or your elbow or your shoulder in order not to spray germs, if you touch doorknobs and you share eating utensils or set your sandwich down on the cafeteria table, if you practice the 5-second rule, if you don't change or launder your bath towel at least twice a week, if you don't wipe your cell phone and keyboard with a disinfectant once a day, if you don't clean out your backpack or your purse every day, then read on. Sincerely, the author." And then we begin with chapter 1, in which Mrs. Warren has a servant problem. And the first chapter talks about Mary being hired and her excellent recommendations. But as we know, this does not end well. So please, if you're interested in nonfiction books, and in light of some of the stuff we're dealing with the coronavirus, I thought this would be an interesting book to look at. Terrible Typhoid Mary. Thank you for your time.